What on earth is going on with DogWifHat with the WIF token? It went down more than 30% in the last month, one of the worst performers. Bitcoin and Solana comparatively held up relatively well. What's going on? Let's have a look at some on-chain data most people are not considering. Let's have a look at the retail investor versus the whale investor. Who's actually selling here? We can have a look on-chain. But first things first, this is where we are now. We are at $1.48. We went down by 33% in the last month. Solana only declined by 11%. Bitcoin only by 12%. Now, the market as a whole does not look that pretty. If you look at the total value locked change in the last month of the top chains, Solana, comparatively speaking, held up somewhat well, but all chains are down. Now, this is not my first video on DogWifHat. I published one 7 months ago when the price was still at 27 cents. Now, even after the crash, we are still up more than 5x from that. So if you want to be early next time, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly on this channel. Now, I've built a tool to figure out what the retail investor versus what the whale investor is doing. And this tool is available to premium members. It's down below. It's thebitcoinstradio.com. You can plug in any token into this tool. And what we see over here is DogWifHat. On the left side, we see the number of wallets that have at least 1,000 WIF tokens. This tended to grow very quickly in the early days, but it seems like the growth has halted somewhat since the middle of April of this year. For the chart in the middle, we go at 10x in minimum holding. So instead of looking at 1,000 tokens, we are looking at 10,000 tokens, which by the way, at current prices is roughly $15,000 worth. That started declining already since beginning of the year. On the right side, we go another 10x in minimum holding. So at current prices, that's $150,000 worth of the token. That's also declining very rapidly. The whales tend to sell off and there's still a lot of them left. So we've only declined by roughly 400 wallets. There's still more than 800 left. So the sell pressure by the whales is pretty constant. The purchases by retail have stopped in April of this year. And so let's have a look at the price chart starting in the middle of April. What we've got over here is a relative valuation chart. So this is the WIF token relative to Solana, because that's the idea with altcoins, right? We want to outperform just Solana and Bitcoin and Ethereum because we take on more risk, right? More risk should be compensated with more return. The vertical line that we see over here is when retail stopped purchasing, and the relative performance since that, it's not that pretty. WIF underperformed Solana by almost 50%. And again, that's not due to the small retail investor selling. It's not because of the wallets that have $1,500 worth of this. It's because of the larger wallets with 15K or even 150K of the token. And so here is how I see this. I think investing in meme coins or speculating with meme coins is pretty much a game of risk versus reward. How much potential upside is there? How much potential downside is there? Among the top tokens, DogWifHat is already at number 2. If we order this by liquidity, there's only a 2x maximum, then DogWifHat becomes the largest of the tokens on Solana. But there's quite a bit of potential upside, right? Maybe it makes sense to buy rather one of those smaller tokens. The upside, relatively speaking, within the Solana blockchain isn't that big. The downside, however, might be quite large because, again, we still have more than 800 whale wallets to go. And the momentum across retail isn't great. And so on the face of it, right, just looking at the price chart, it looks like WIF is low. And of course, it's always the idea to buy low and sell high. But I think the selling pressure by the whales is likely going to continue. This graph, unfortunately, is simply too constant. There's a constant decline of the people with a lot of money. The smart money is exiting DogWifHat. I know this is not necessarily the popular message, right? Ideally, I'd like to say as well, DogWifHat is going to the moon. But when we just look at the data, right, if we try to be as objective as possible, we have to answer the question, where should the demand come from? It's not coming from the whales, and the retail investors have stopped buying as well. If you found this useful, feel free to give this a like. It helps the channel grow. Feel free to also subscribe. I publish videos regularly on various meme coins on this channel. In this current market environment, I don't try to pick the one winner across a lot of losers. I try to rather do the opposite. I try to short the altcoins. I make money now by betting on falling prices of altcoins. If you want to know how I do this, what kind of altcoins I short, feel free to check out the premium membership. It's down below, thebitcoinstradio.com. If your portfolio isn't yet large enough to justify premium, there's also a free Telegram that's 100% free. Looking very much forward to seeing you there as well. The link is as well down below.